we had to approach them differently too. It took a team of 8 individuals over 5 years to do just that, including 3 years of near total immersion in the street culture of Lusaka, the capital city of Zambia in South Central Africa. The team consisted of 5 former street children, a journalism student from the University of Zambia, an outreach worker who was once a street child himself, and an anthropologist. The final 2 individuals would become the authors of this book and appear in the story itself. Daniel Chama is referred to as the outreacher and Chris Lockhart as the white man. Space does not allow us to go into all the challenges we faced along the way, but by year 3, 2016, when most events described in this book occurred, we were able to witness and capture with a digital voice recorder the vast majority of these events. In addition, and whether it was recorded by a team member or not, everything described in this book is the result of hundreds of hours of exhaustive ethnographic interviews, group discussions, impromptu conversations, personal observations and interactions, and everything else that goes into a fully immersive, long-term live and work approach. But despite all the reasons for writing this book, and all the time and preparation it took to immerse ourselves in Lusaka's street culture, we could never have anticipated the events that actually occurred. In a lot of ways, it felt like we were pursuing other stories when all along the real one was unfolding right beneath our feet. We missed it because we were so focused on exposing the overwhelming structures and forms of violence that street children have to deal with every day. But that ended up being only half the story. Eventually, we came to understand the other half, how small acts of kindness passed on to others can make a difference in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. The children themselves had a lot to do with teaching us this part of the story. They had to show us how small, good things can accumulate and become increasingly powerful and interconnected, like a snowball rolling downhill, smashing everything in its path. That is how we became part of the story too, because we didn't anticipate any of this until the snowball smashed into us and left us speechless at the wonderment of it all, like children ourselves. In the end, we think the final story managed to stay true to our earliest motivations, but it also grew into something beyond our wildest expectations. If you were to ask us what we hope you learn from this book, we would say we hope you learn a little bit about the day-to-day lives and realities of street children, and a great deal about the power of the smallest good deed. Prologue. The Ho-Ho Kid. The eyes of the Ho-Ho Kid were completely missing, probably eaten away by rats. The only thing left now was a big moon face with 2 empty buckets. His upper torso protruded from a pile of garbage about 6 feet off the ground, upside down and facing out, both arms dangling above his head like ropes. His mouth was open in a perfect O, an appropriate mirror to his nothing eyes. Lusabilo cocked his head to one side and studied the mutilated body. The scabby arms and hands made him wonder if the Ho-Ho Kid was a scavenger like himself, but he didn't recognize this boy, or what was left of him. Perhaps he was new. Lusabilo asked the Lozi kid if he recognized the body, but the little runt didn't understand Bemba, or English for that matter. He just pointed to the kid's eyes again and laughed, exclaiming, "Oh, oh!" It finally dawned on Lusabilo what he was trying to say. Ho. Over time and numerous retellings, however, Ho-Ho stuck, and the dead boy became known as the Ho-Ho Kid. A garbage truck roared past and disappeared behind a massive wall of smoking trash. Half a dozen children sped after it, eager to be the first ones to pick through its contents. Their stick-thin bodies spindled in and out of the trailing dust and heat, like some flickering image of a playground soccer game. Kids running, falling, rolling, covering their heads, eventually blotted out by a cloud of ash smog, plastic bags, rags, shreds of paper, stray bits of cardboard.